Is the unnamed tavern named unnamed tavern? Is unnamed tavern named unnamed tavern, or is it a tavern that's not been named?
California and Texas making legal moves against Florida. So the main reason why is essentially because Florida keeps trying to just ship immigrants to other places.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Governor
illegally.
Florida man's doing political stunts.
Which,
and he
by the
sends
way,
us away.
is probably technically human trafficking.
Yes.
Yeah, might be the case.
Yeah,
California,
you know.
California Attorney General and Texas Sheriff, whose jurisdictions encompass San Antonio, are forcing their criminal and civil investigations on whether migrants were lured onto flights under false pretenses.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely follows as human trafficking. They filed charges with the local district attorney on Monday after a 9-month investigation into the Florida-run operation that transported 49 migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Field Vineyards, and announced his investigation over the weekend. Quote, "I think deception is a key part of what's happened here," he told The Hill. Both these investigations orbit DeSantis, former President Trump's leading competitor in the 2024 GOP nomination, whose hardline stance on immigration is a keystone of his campaign. So Governor DeSantis is abusing Florida taxpayer dollars. We welcome the federal government or other states to help us challenge these dangerous political stunts.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. Hey, pro tip.
To see how it goes.
Don't put identifiable individual people in like your weird human trafficking publicity stunt, because once people can actually see the faces and put names to them, suddenly it becomes a whole lot less abstract, and they're like, "Oh, you just stuffed some identifiable people into a plane and flew them to like some politician's house in New York." That's not really cool.
And understand that for Governor Florida
victims, faceless guys.
He's merely doing this as a publicity stunt because he's about saying, "I want to show to this constituency that I'm anti-woke and that I'm trying to
I have the balls to stand up."
Except he's also the one pushing this idea of wokeism anyway, so he's setting up the ball to say that, look, I'm not this vaguely defined thing that I'm just trying to demonize because I'm defining it vaguely on purpose so I can weaponize it against people. What a martyr and hero I am.
But isn't that a good PR stunt, Chesh? Isn't he have a,
I mean, if it was, he's not doing it well. There's like ways to go about it. Co-opting terms and co-opting ideas is not new to the Republican Party. It's also not terribly new to any political party. This is a pretty standard way. But there's something called overplaying your cards. You've played more hand than you should have ever put out, and DeSantis absolutely falls under the you are trying to play too many different games at once. You're trying to run too many strategies at the same time.
Yeah, and it's going to affect him poorly. Like his image is going to get even amongst his constituents who support him, they're like, "What the fuck are you on about?" And the last thing you can do is going into like elections in 2024 is confuse your constituents, because then they will either go by default like what they did last time, or they will go hardly the opposite person. They will like, okay, this guy is confusing me, I'm gonna vote for him.
It also
the other guy.
It goes a little bit further than that, specifically in the current political climate. Only because it is giving people a very good demonstration of what governing looks like under DeSantis and what governing looks like under extreme Republican being in charge. Right? We've already seen what happens with Trump, but it's been 2 years. people kind of forget about things that have gone on and what's happened with what's going on with Florida. Not only do we have the people of Florida not being happy about it, we have businesses failing. We have books being removed and education going to shit, which the teachers aren't happy with, the parents aren't happy with, the kids aren't happy with, the board isn't happy with. He's trying to screw with corporate America as well in his dealings with Disney, so that's not going well for him either. And other states are pissed at them because they keep pulling shit on them too. So he's just pissing off everybody right before the election.
Yeah.
DeSantis
that's so well said.
Has an operation mode where when he is in a press conference, he insults members of the press he doesn't like, and more than just Trump, right? He is really good at refusing to answer the question, refusing to be held accountable, and for those that are really good at trying to hold him accountable, just about abusing them, insulting him on there. The problem is that with DeSantis going to the national stage, he's going to pick saying, you need to support me because I'm going to prevent them from doing this to your children or this to your house, whatever. He's playing this. I am going to be the one that kills woke and that kind of thing. That can get you support for so long. But at some point, you have to ask actually for actual policies.
Especially when you don't know what woke is. Yeah, right? If you don't know what he's trying to I'm gonna defeat this ideology, but I don't fucking have nobody has a fucking idea what it is.
So I looked real quick.
But he would just say these things I don't like.
So I looked real quick because Steve Reno brought up a good point. They asked, does DeSantis actually have bad approval rates in Florida though? Ever since he announced presidency, yes, they've been dropping.
Wow. I wonder why.
Also, Trump, seeing him as a potential rival, has been doing what he can with his team to undermine Governor Florida Man. And that's an interesting thing to watch as well. Even though you can't define woke, DeSantis would say it's what I say it is, right? So he'll say, "Here's
Newsweek."
Yeah.
Oh God!
Even Newsweek is saying that DeSantis's ratings are dropping. It's not loading, so whatever. But that
doesn't disqualify somebody. Pence's ratings in Indiana as governor were falling through the toilet bowl. And to some extent, Pence's family said, run for vice president with this guy. You probably won't be elected, but you can essentially go on a high note. So he exited Indiana before repercussions would happen about his governorship. That might happen with Governor Florida Man. I'm not sure, but you can count on him trying to push the narrative of support DeSantis because he's the only one standing up to those people that are going to do this thing to your house, your car, your beer, your wife, your kids, your whatever thing is. And it is what it says it is. Yes. So and
you can't have trans beer. Not okay.
Yes. Now, we don't need to go over the whole Bud Light problem.
My water transitioned into wine.
That sounds like a great transition right there.
Elon.
Yeah, but yes. So I don't know how far he will go with regards to his presidency. I don't know.
His presidential bidding,
with Republican nomination.
Not going well.
I understand there are people who run for nomination with no intention of actually winning.
Yes.
But they're trying to elevate their national stature, even though they know they're going to lose, because they can gain support, gain notoriety, gain power.
Yep.
And that may be what Governor Foreman's trying to do.
It's backfiring. Currently, it's backfiring, so you better have a long-term plan, buddy. This is what I mean. Too many hands in too many cookie jars right? He is trying
Yeah.
to have too many things at once, right? If you want to piss off
Yeah.
all of the gay people, fine, but if you go so far as to, like, you also want to piss off California and Texas? What? Like, it's
No,
gonna
no,
start
technically it's Santa-
conflicting.
Isn't like
it's-
Texas like the biggest
technically
conservative,
it's-
like the
it's-
biggest conservative pool of votes
But,
ever?
but wait. In Texas, it is San Antonio, which is a enclave of Texas. It's not the Texas state itself. That's doing this. And understand that the cultural wars people, let's call them like people like DeSantis, and the woke movement are two of the same coin, even though they're opposing each other. They are co-enabling behavior, right? And so I expect that the so-called woke movement will do things anti-DeSantis, which DeSantis will use to promote his cause. The two groups themselves are, in my opinion, I'm talking about the radical, we got to do this stuff, and the radical, we got to oppose this stuff. They're actually two sides of the same coin that are co-enabling each other and feeding each other power. And the sad thing is that the people that let's say on the that DeSantis is running against are people quite capable of getting Trump elected.
You're talking about, like, the opportunists, essentially, in the scenario. People who are going to take advantage of the people suffering.
Yep. I'm not talking about the issues, because they're not about the issues. They're about themselves.